Hey guys, welcome back to another video. I've actually been recognizing a lot of people in the comments have been talking about the backyard mini ramp. So in today's video, I'm going to share with you 3 different things that I've learned through the process of building the dream backyard mini ramp. 3 recommendations I would have for you. I'm going to skate the mini ramp as well. And then at the end of this video, I'm going to break down the cost of what it all costs to create this mini ramp and what it would cost you today to be able to build one just like this. Let's get it. Why did we build a backyard mini ramp? It starts all back in 2020 when I was in quarantine, didn't have anywhere to skate. I had the idea of building a backyard mini ramp. And that's actually where I started a YouTube channel. I started teaching some tutorials, some layback tutorials, and kind of just some basic beginner mini ramp tutorials. And while that ramp was great, it started out great. Over time, because I live in Kansas City in the Midwest, that ramp got super torn up, it got super beat up, and we actually ended up moving to a space that had a bigger backyard. And we just wanted to create a space for a nonprofit that we could have a private space where kids could come and learn how to skate. And that's exactly how this one was built. I'm gonna share with you a little bit more, but I'm gonna stretch and let's get warmed up on the mini ramp first. I'm also skating a brand new board. I did a board setup on the channel. I'll make sure to put that card right up here so you can check out that video. Let's get warmed up. The first thing is to create a plan and to keep it simple. When we wanted to build this mini ramp, there were a bunch of different ideas that we had, but we ended up doing 12 feet of 3 foot and then 8 feet of 4 foot. It made the whole thing 20 feet wide. It's a 7-foot radius, but it's perfect to learn brand new tricks on. So when you're making the plan, you want to make sure that the work site is ready to go as well. When we first came here, we actually thought this was super level, but we found out that it's actually not that level. So what we had to do, you can kind of see over here, we had to dig down a little bit just to make sure that everything would fit. And we didn't want to put this on permanent footing, so we didn't dig into the ground because we thought we would move it later. So you can see on this side, we actually had to find some cement pavers to put the ramp on just to make sure that it would be completely level. Some of them we kind of just use whatever, as you can see right here. But for the most part, they're all pretty flat, super level, and it weighs so much that we don't have to worry about them coming off the pavers. And then the last thing, make sure you've created a plan for what your entire build is going to look like. We knew the ours was going to take 4 days, but even going and picking up all of the supplies, we had to make multiple trips because it's such a big ramp and it was so heavy. All the supplies didn't fit in the vehicle that we took. So we had to make 2 trips, and we had a bunch of volunteers that were able to come and help, but we took time to schedule all of that. So make sure that you create a plan before you build your ramp. The second thing that I would recommend is to use the right top sheet. For this specific build, we ended up using ramp armor. Before, we tried to use like MDF board or birch, and we just kept having to replace it, or we'd try to put a tarp over it to keep like the snow and the rain off, and it just didn't work well at all. The cool thing about ramp armor, it's actually supposed to last 10 to 20 years, and it has a warranty for it. Whereas that MDF or masonite or anything like that, like you're gonna have to replace it every single year. So over the span of 10 to 20 years, if you have your ramp, the ramp armor is actually gonna end up paying for itself. So save up a little bit more, get the right top sheet, ramp armor, gator skin, skate light, get one of those. It's definitely worth the investment. number 3, when you're building a ramp, something to think about is the safety features. So since we leveled this ramp, you can see over here, there's a pretty large like drop down right here. This ledge, it's probably only about 2.5 to 3 feet, but it is kind of scary. Like if you were to drop in here and fall off the edge. So on the other ramps that we've had before, we've actually put up a little board catcher here. So it catches your board and it just keeps you aware. I'm gonna make another video where I do that, but I also wanna share with you another safety feature that we didn't really think about until later. So on this tree right here, you see kind of this little black square. You can see it right here, and this is our camera, just in case we have any unwanted visitors. So you can see we don't have a fence back here. We have some local skaters in the neighborhood, and the last thing we want is for them to come and skate and get hurt and we get sued. That's just not something that we want to do. So the camera helps us. And the last thing when it comes to safety features is this bench. So the thing I love about it, it's set back. You don't lose any space up here on the deck. But if I am to come up and skate, you can see people's feet. They can move them up and out of the way. That way you're not trying to trick and blasting into your friends, especially if you're trying a new trick. You can try a new trick and their shins will be spared. Okay, so we went back and looked through what it actually costs for you to build this ramp. So let me break it down in 3 different categories. The first one is materials. So we got our stuff from Lowe's. Since it was through the nonprofit, we did get a little bit of a discount, but it was at the higher end of wood costs. As far as like building expenses, it was probably the highest that it was, and we spent $4,598. The second most expensive thing was actually the top sheet, the ramp armor. So with it, we got a little bit of a discount for being a nonprofit, but it was still $3,200. And then labor, we had one of our friends come in, Judd Heald. He builds skate parks all the time, and that's why this thing is perfect. We ended up paying him $1,384. So total, this ramp cost $9,182. So it is a pretty expensive ramp. However, it's a super nice ramp. Like one of the things we know, it's gonna last. And the whole intention of it is just to have a space where kids can come and learn how to skate the mini ramp, as well as continue to create more videos just like this one. So you guys can learn how to do different mini ramp tricks or just different tutorials, like what it looks like to build a ramp or what it could cost. So comment down below if you're gonna be building a backyard mini ramp, or if you have any sort of ramp in your backyard, comment down below. I would love to know what kind of ramp it is that you have. And let us know if you want to see more videos on the mini ramp. Maybe it's a tutorial, maybe you want us to do an unboxing out here on the ramp, just let us know. And then if you do want to see some more mini ramp videos, we actually have some, and they're right here. Make sure to check them out.